months ago when I said I would do a gesso or Mod Podge transfer tutorial. I'll have to do a tutorial video for you. Today we're gonna rectify that. I've got my project already going next to me, but I wanted to take a second to say thank you to Skillshare. It's this learning community with over 15,000 videos. And I found a tutorial on how to do this kind of a transfer. Fingers crossed that it goes better than mine have in the past. I have a 2-month free trial link for you guys down below in the description. Try it out, see if it fits with your style, whatever you guys need to learn. And if it does, you can sign up for a $10 a month premium subscription after those 2 months, and if not, just cancel it. Let's get started with this tutorial. Going through this process, I am following along with John Bromit's tutorial on Skillshare. The internet has become an amazing resource for learning art. I know not everyone can afford art school tuition, and Skillshare is among the online resources we have to continue our art education affordably. Regardless of your source, I really just encourage you to embrace learning opportunities available online. I think it's a huge blessing of living in this generation, and specifically in working in a creative field. Moving back into our tutorial, first of all, I primed my MDF panel. I like to go back and forth in opposite directions to get a really smooth surface with my paint. After that, I'm using 2 home printed photos of our girl with the pearl earring. You want a very thin piece of paper because it makes it a lot easier to rub away the paper. You're gonna want to cover both the MDF board and your actual printout with that acrylic matte medium or gesso or Mod Podge, whatever way you decide to do it. All 3 of those will work for this process. I'm personally using the acrylic matte medium. When you do adhere the photo onto the MDF board, you're gonna wanna be really careful to lay it down and make sure you get all of the air bubbles out. I firstly used my fingers to smooth in the face, and afterwards I used a brayer tool, which is for printmaking, but I'm using it to roll out the air. You can also use a paint scraper or a credit card or library card for this. This is a tip I picked up from watching the tutorial that I did not know before. Your matte medium, gesso, Mod Podge may seep out the sides as you push it outwards. Make sure you don't get that onto your tool and rub it back on top of your actual printed out photo. That will make things a lot more difficult when you're rubbing away the paper during the transfer process. All right, I'm going to do a bit of an experiment with this. It's recommended you let this dry for 12 hours minimum, but it's better if you do it overnight. I'm going to be putting one of them in front of a heat dish to try to quicken the process, and we'll see if that has the same effect overall as letting the other one air dry overnight. Then I will remove the paper on both of them and we'll see what we get. Okay, it is a brand new day. I am showered fresh and ready to go. I'm gonna use a wet paper towel, rub it over the surface, and when you start to see the ink showing through that paper, that's when you know that it has sufficiently seeped in and is ready to be rolled off. Let's get started with it. This first one we're doing is one that was underneath the heat lamp. What the? Oh my gosh, Hoodie. Oh well. When you are taking off that very top layer, you can be a bit more rough, but as you get down further and you have less paper to scrape away, just be sure you're a little bit careful, especially in areas where your Mod Podge, gesso, matte medium didn't adhere very well. It will be more likely to rub away your actual ink. One thing to be aware of, whatever you transfer is going to end up being the mirror image of what you printed. This is especially important with text. Make sure you flip your image in Photoshop horizontally so that you won't have backwards typing. Alright, I am all finished now, and I wanted to say my overall impressions. It seems like the heat lamp ones lost a little bit of their color, faded almost as if the sun were hitting it, and it seems the color was preserved a little bit better with the ones that dried overnight, but these ones seem to adhere better overall, so I think the best option would be if you dried it overnight, but dried it for a prolonged period of time. They say 24 hours. I might even go longer than that, honestly. For me, I'm most interested in using these as something to do studies on top of or paint over. Thank you one more time to Skillshare for sponsoring this video, and make sure if you guys are interested, use the trial link down below. I mean, 2 months to access 15,000 classes. For me personally, I really liked professional development stuff I was finding on there, things about finding your creative niche. That was really helpful for me. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. If you like this video, hit the like button, and I will see you guys next Friday. Goodbye!